To do something a little different, we're going to try playing a different game than normal. And this is a classic called Heretic. It is a game based off of a Doom engine made by Raven Software. I don't know the exact date it came out, but it was probably the early 90s, probably like 93-ish, I would imagine. I love this game. I think this game is amazing. I think I like it more than Doom, although I've probably played Doom more, mostly because my dad liked Doom a lot. I thought this would be kind of fun. We're gonna play. We'll play through the first campaign. I'm imagining every 2 to 3 levels are gonna be a YouTube video. We'll see how far we get. I'm gonna play in the hardest difficulty level. It's not quite as insane as the Doom Nightmare difficulty level is, which is kind of nice, but it's definitely not easy either. So we'll give it a shot. We're actually playing this in the Doomsday engine, I believe this is. Yes, Doomsday engine. And see how it goes. And now we're loading. Exciting. Alright, and I think on this difficulty level, maybe they... super fast. So yeah, this engine is a port, like most Doom engine ports are these days, which adds a bunch of extra things like 3D lighting, mouse look, some other things like that. Does not allow jumping. This game does have flying in it though. So we will traverse the Z dimension at some points. And I know there are some secrets. I think there's one over here, yeah. Because I have played this game. I've probably played through this campaign, I'm not even kidding, probably 50 times. Maybe only 25. I've definitely played through the Doom campaigns at least 50 times a piece. That actually is probably even closer to 100. Maybe we'll do one of those videos sometime too. My only real annoyance with these source ports is there doesn't seem to be a solid multiplayer one. There's some ones that work sort of, but not very well. Alright, so these guys are kind of the equivalent of... So yeah, these mummy guys are kind of like the other basic enemies compared to the imps, both of which have flying versions, or I'm sorry, the shooting versions. The imps fly. These guys can sometimes be transparent, kind of like demons. So I'd actually compare those to the demons because they have a melee attack, but they also sometimes have a ranged attack. It's a little bit weird. Yeah, I know where you guys are. Oh, shit. Alright. We got the chainsaw just now, so we'll use this to destroy these guys. Huh, these guys aren't doing as much damage as I would have assumed on this difficulty level, but I'm okay with that. I feel like they're taking a lot of hits, though. So this is the pistol weapon, as you would imagine most Doom games would have. Chainsaw, there is a fist weapon, which is your staff, which I'll show in a second. Chainsaw, fist, pistol. In this game, the pistol is actually useful. This game also features a thing where you can upgrade your weapons temporarily, so even the most basic weapons actually do a fair bit of damage, which is kind of neat. But yeah, this game actually I didn't even think looks great. I love this classic Doom port or Doom code-based level design. You know, everything doesn't have to look super realistic. You know, you get to flow through areas pretty evenly and quickly. There's a guy right there. There's a secret to the right there. Well, I don't know if it's a secret, but it's definitely a way you can go. Yeah, they drop the one crystals that charge this, so... There isn't a one-to-one with the Doom creatures 100% like there was like with the Chex Quest, which was basically just a mod for Doom. Graphics mod, really. So, nice a little bit of unique stuff. There's the shotgun equivalent, which is so much better than the shotgun from Doom. It shoots these two little things on the side and this thing in the middle, which does a shit ton of damage. I think there's a secret in there somehow, because that's how you get back there. We'll find it. It might take a second for me to remember, but we'll find it. Kind of see that center bolt. I took a few too many hits for my taste. But yeah, this thing just destroys these guys. It's the shotgun, so you know it does a bunch of damage. Ah! So this is like a Revenant sort of guy. It shoots non-homing missiles. Again, a lot of these enemies have like a harder mode, so this particular one, where they're transparent and they do more damage. Alright, so that's the end of the level. Let's go back and find that secret. Also love the music in this game. I love everything about this game is basically what it comes down to. Ah, so I see this opened. If I remember, there's some weird gravity stuff in here. No, not this level. Monsters of the same type can't fight each other like in, whoa. That one was pretty close. Actually, I think there is some weird gravity stuff in here because my weapons are, yeah, they're going to the right. Yeah, some sort of gravity thing because they keep getting shoved into that direction. So, secret. I think we got everything. I think there was a bag of holding, so that lets me carry more items, like the backpack in Doom. Which is nice. If it hasn't already been figured out, the ammo is in the upper left, life is in the bottom left. There is an inventory in this game. I only have one item right now. And that's actually, that tome is actually what gives you the enhanced weapons. I would show it to you, but it's a one-time use item and it doesn't last forever, so I don't want to waste it. And you have your Doom, like, overmap. Oop. Alright, so you can see they're fighting already. I love it when they fight. And they drop the shotgun ammo. The ethereal arrows. Pretty sure that's the end of the game in there, or that's just where the machine gun weapon is. Yeah, it's actually at the end of the level. I was getting confused with the other. Yeah, those guys have a charge, the imps, which can be kind of annoying. They're actually somewhat difficult. They're like a mix of the Lost Skulls, the Lost Soul things, plus a couple of other. They shoot. They're like the imps from Diablo, which is amusing, or Diablo from Doom, because they actually are called imps in this game as well. Yeah, good times. Right. Okay, I think this. Nope, can't go that way. They both can't have keys. Where the hell am I supposed to go? Oh, here's a door. Ah, yes. I remember there's some sort of transparent wall right over here. Yes. That's where those shots are. Oh. Yeah, you can actually hear that my guy sounds just like the Doom guy. I don't know if that's a thing of the source port. I just heard that guy die, and they're all dead now. Again, I can't jump in this game. This port does allow it, but I have it disabled because the original game wouldn't let you jump. And it can let you, it lets you cheat really bad. Oh, what? It's like my shots didn't want to go anywhere. Sometimes in these old Doom games, that usually meant that there was something above you because you couldn't occupy the same space as another guy. Although now that I think about it, that was actually a Diablo thing, or a Doom thing. I keep calling Diablo Doom, and not a Heretic thing, because with the flying, they obviously fixed that limitation in the engine, or else it wouldn't have worked right. I do not know what that switch did. Enemies. As you'd expect. Lots of traps just like in Doom. Let's kill it. Oh, hello. Yeah, these guys are not as difficult as Revenants. Obviously, they're non-homing weapons. The red axes actually do a lot more damage than the normal ones. Just wondering how that guy went. They don't have as much life as the Revenants. But obviously, you know, you face them on the first level. You don't face a Doom 2 Revenant on its first level. Yeah. You can tell that I've played this game before as soon as I see what I know is a trap. Know exactly where things are. Oh, sweet. Oh, that's good. We're just there. So this is the machine gun ammo. We're actually going through this pretty easy, so I don't know if we really should be conserving our ammo as such, but give it a shot. It also says I just found a secret area, which seems unlikely that there's a secret area. A very satisfying exploding sound when they die. See, I actually came to Heretic a little bit late to the game. I probably didn't play it until 96 or 97. One of my friends had bought it on CD-ROM. For a game that originally came on floppy, that's pretty awesome. Or at least I would assume it came on floppy like Doom. But I remember borrowing it from him and like, this game's amazing. Because basically at the time for me it was like, oh, this is Diablo, or this, I keep calling it Diablo. This is Doom, but new levels and with a fantasy setting, and let's be honest, fantasy's awesome. So that kind of stuff is pretty sweet. Alright, so we got the yellow key in that adventure, so we'll go to the yellow door. One nice thing about these ports is you can look up, which you normally wouldn't have been able to do, so you can sometimes more easily see things that you wouldn't have been in the past. Conversely, it causes severe tearing on images because they're not designed to be viewed that way, because they're bitmaps, they're not polygons. Yes, lots of strafing. If there's anything, whoa. This game taught me is strafe all the time. Something my dad has never been able to figure out, much to his chagrin, because it causes so many problems with him playing Doom. Look at me, I called it Doom that time, I did it right. Yeah, there's a slightly different shade to that let me know that it was, These are basically the equivalent of exploding barrels from Doom. Looks like these don't regenerate. Sometimes they come back. Peekaboo. Wow, that one came close. That one came close too. Secret. Secret and a secret. I went right there, obviously. This is a bad quarter to be in because there's another secret there too. There's like 3 secrets in here. Yeah. So yeah, this is the shareware set of levels. Like I keep doing it, man. Like Doom, it has shareware. The first episode was shareware. Because this wasn't really a secret, just that they pop out. And so it doesn't have all the weapons and items that the actual game has. Like, I don't think you can get the equivalent to the rocket launcher, the Phoenix gun in this, Phoenix staff. And then the expansion actually added another weapon. It shoots a lot of bouncy sphere things, which not particularly useful, but it's kind of cool still. And I don't think you can't even get that in this act for sure. I don't think the plasma rifle is here. The key is you definitely want to make sure the solid bolt hits things, because it does like 3 to 4 times the damage of the other ones. And yeah, I know I skipped that other spawn. Just want to clear all the contiguous rooms first. This, I believe, just brings me back to the beginning, right? Got a secret on my right. And for those wondering at home, it's not that I just saw that it's darker there. You can kind of see how it's darker. There's a lamp that's lighting that up to tell you it's a secret. It's that I remember there being a secret here. Wings. But the interesting thing about the wings power-up is that unlike the other items, it actually doesn't go with you to the other levels, because obviously they'd have to account for that in every level and it would break the game. You can break levels if you had that. You can basically skip some parts. So you always want to make sure you use your wings before you leave a level. That goes back out to the main courtyard. So we are going to finish this before we do that, because I don't have to come back here. And I think the key's in here. Whoa! Ow, that did a lot of damage. Actually doing quite a bit of damage tonight. By the way, if we actually die at some point in this game, I'm calling shenanigans. This is a no deaths run. Also, these guys apparently have way better pathing than any Diablo or God damn it, Doom enemies. Now every time I say something, I'm second guessing myself and I'm like, oh, it must be the other one. Nope. Yeah, we definitely took some damage here. I believe this is like a trench. There's the trench that I was mentioning. I don't think there's an item in here, yeah. Oh, we haven't actually used the claw yet. It was kind of a waste of ammo, but we'll grab it anyway. Alright, it's from here. Alright, so we have the green key now. I believe, if I recall, the flying item is used to get up on top of there. Don't really need to do it, but I'll use this weapon for a little bit just because I know. You got it, we haven't seen it yet. It's basically the machine gun. Enemies and Heretic seem to be really susceptible to being stun locked, which makes this item pretty good. Oh, I can't imagine what's going to happen when I hit this. Alright, so since I walked in here, the lights get back on. And we're done with that weapon. Somewhere. Yep. It's like, I'm pretty sure that whole area is a place you can go. Right? Now, I did get the auto map at some point, but I just watched the Mummy movie, the 1999 movie, I think it was. And at one point, Brendan Fraser's character goes, "We don't need the map's in here," when he points at his head. And just imagine that's what I did. We don't need the auto map, the map's in my head. If you've seen that movie lately, that reference was actually pretty great. If you haven't, it probably made 0 sense. So, you're welcome. Always here to help. Also, I never think about losing. So we just got the blue key. Which means that's the door we have to go out. Oh, which was back through here, right? It's wherever the poison things were when we first found them. Nope. Oh, that was this level. Wow. We've been here a while. Through here. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to fly. Sworn there was some sort of flight thingy over there, but I guess not. I still think we missed a secret. I can't remember where. That was pretty good though. Alright, one more level, and then we'll call it an episode. I like to keep that on the bar just so if I do take damage, I can heal. Usually, long range, this is the superior. It's a hit scan weapon, which means that there's no actual projectiles. You just point and they instantly appear at their destination. Oh, and we just so these are the imps that actually throw fireballs. As far as I can tell, there's no way to tell the difference apart from them visually. I do believe they have a little bit more life too. Not that it really matters, but. Alright, we're going into close space. Time to switch back to the shotgun. Crossbow weapon. Yeah, so like this would be a case where either if you had jumping, as the engine allows now, or flying, you just be like, oh, because I'm pretty sure that's one of the switches that leads to the end of the level. That was unfortunate timing on that thing going back up. I really do love the enhanced lighting that this port has. Hello, guys. I was trying to change weapons there, but it's not going to happen, so... Looks like this door didn't close well, which is always nice. Being able to run away is always good. Way to live and fight another day. I believe this level is also the first level where you get the ovum item, which turns enemies into chickens, which is just as ridiculous as one would assume, and it's still pretty awesome. Oh wow, how did he get in there with me and I didn't even notice that? That item is actually super fun in multiplayer because you turn into a chicken and you have a beak instead of the staff for your weapon, and you're tiny. I don't think there's any times in Heretic where it's required to do that for a puzzle. There is at least one time in Hexen where that's useful, to turn yourself into a chicken. As you can probably imagine, this game is not as serious. Oh, hello. Yeah, we need to not be where we are right now. Severe damage. Yeah, those red axes, especially if you get hit by a couple of them, do quite a bit of damage. We're at below half health right now. Yeah, if we get into the 20s, I will probably pop the healing potion. You want to use the healing potions that are around more than the ones that you can carry with you, because obviously the ones you can carry with you actually getting into dangerous life territory. I'm gonna switch weapons. I think this might be a gravity. Yeah, because he's not shooting straight, so that means there's some sort of gravity issue in there. hit scan weapons aren't affected by gravity. Oh my god, these guys are everywhere. So I just picked up the invisibility item, which, as you can imagine, can turn you invisible. Alright, we're actually kind of hurting. Our armor's gone too, which we've had basically since the beginning of the game. So that green area is the end because of the door. We're going to do a quick scan for health items. There's probably a couple out here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're at 65 now. Much better. Not bleeding profusely from the head. Oh. I think it's somewhere out here. This lets you up here. Oh. So we're just gonna jump down and shoot these guys because I don't want to have to worry about, you know, dodging fireballs on that tiny fucking platform. You may have noticed they jumped when they went a certain area. Again, because of the way Doom represents height, which is extremely fascinating and kind of goes beyond the scope of a YouTube video playing the game to explain. Sometimes if you cross a border between different heights, you can magically teleport from one height to the other. Good, more health. Obviously, in mass, those guys can be kind of damaging. Another portal opened, too. I think we need to go through the other one. So that was the first one, this is the second one. Yep. Alright. Oh, they were fighting each other, and I think that's because one of those was a fireball one was a non-fireball one, and the game treats them as two separate enemies. So it doesn't prevent them from fighting amongst each other like normally two guys in the same would, like I said earlier. These just bring these down all the way to the surface. Whew. Lots of damage, lots of guys. Good times. Alright, what are we doing for ML? 75? Or pretty low. Ammo on that item goes a lot faster than it does on it. Oh my god. Think about jumping in front of those weapons multiple times. I think the ovum item's to the left. When you can, fighting and killing those things before you get there is always advantageous. Maybe this is where the ovum item is in multiplayer. Again, they're fighting, which tells me that this guy probably doesn't shoot fireballs. I think the ones that shoot fireballs are the ones that charge and the ones that don't. I keep insisting that there's something there, because it seems darker because there's a texture change, and because of the height change, it just looks like there's something there, but I guess not. Alright, so we're going to where we just opened the door, I would imagine. Hello. More arrows. So yeah, this is where we just killed a bunch of guys. Now you might be wondering, for certain people who've never played the original Doom or haven't played it in its original form, you would automatically aim up and down because there was no mouse movement. That didn't come about until Quake. The mouse actually moved your character in the game, left to right, and then it actually moved you physically forward and backwards as you moved up and down. So it was a weird, system back then. We hadn't figured out how FPS is shown yet. We hadn't gained that knowledge as a collective unit. stuff for too long. I'm definitely a bit of a completionist. I like to get as much of this stuff as I can in these things. Sometimes you can trigger guys by shooting, just like you do. There's the morph of them. I knew it was somewhere here. I don't believe that works on bosses. This game does have the equivalent of the Hell Knights, the Cyber Demons. I'm trying to think if it has the equivalent of the Masterminds. I don't think so. The Cyber Demons have an equivalent. They're actually, in my opinion, slightly more dangerous in this game. Because they have like a charge and some attacks that do absurd amounts of damage and can fall around corners and just very painful. The Hell Knights are weird because the Hell Knight equivalent in this game is a little bit weird because they're giant heads and they shoot tornadoes that can follow you everywhere. Very annoying. They also have a couple of other attacks. Oh, if I wanted that, I could jump down into it. In fact, I probably will. Except I have to do it from the right one. Other way. Believe me, just getting that Dragon Claw open this also. Alright, so we need to make sure we have this open because there's gravity. You can see it's actually... I'm not moving right now. I'm actually pulled by gravity towards that area. And if you see... you can see the arrows shoot. The center thing isn't affected by gravity, but that is. Hello! You can see their items are being affected by gravity, but only the green ones. The red ones, just like my center shot, are unaffected. Probably run by these guys and finish the level, but where's the fun in that? I am not affected by gravity in this room when I'm not in the water, only when I was in the water. So I think it's supposed to, it might even supposed to be a current thing, but because it affects projectiles, not so much. Yeah, it wasn't until they actually go over the water that they're affected. Again, weird engine things that probably are related to that. So we've got the green key. Good. Doing good. Ammunition-wise. Right, so that guy's transparent, so he does a lot more damage. And I think he shoots the red axes way more frequently. Not exclusively, but way more frequently. Alright, this will be the end of the level. We killed everything and got everything, yay! Alright, I think that's going to do it for this first episode of Heretic, episode 1. From the first set, and we'll see you next time.